Hi, I'm Ryan Livergood, Executive Director of the Warren-Newport Public Library. Welcome to another episode of Library Connections. On this show, we talk about not only what's going on at the Warren-Newport Public Library, but also what's happening in our community. Today, my guest is Robin O'Connor, and Robin is the Lake County Clerk. And Robin, today we're going to talk about the November 3rd election. So welcome.
Thank you. And I don't know if you can see Liberty in the back, but Liberty's in the back. You see Liberty? Yeah, that's our county clerk dog, we want to say. And if you see at the top, you'll see that there's a phone number. I just want to advertise that phone number for all of you before I begin. It's 847-377-VOTE. And the reason I'm bringing that to you is because if you ever have any questions, or if you ever have you want any directions or help, call. We're super friendly, and that number is there to help you. We just installed that. We had to convince a county health person to let us have that number, and she did. And so now we have that number, and it's used constantly. So
yeah, Robin and I were talking a few minutes before we started recording, and Robin, you are super friendly and super enthusiastic about this and very knowledgeable. So let's get into it. Let's talk about this November 3rd election, the different ways to vote, and really focus on voting by mail, because I think there are a lot of questions about the vote by mail process and a lot of concerns. And as we were talking about before we started recording, a lot of myths out there about the voting by mail process. So.
Right. You are correct. Voting by mail has always been a part of the election for Lake County. Todd Govain, who is my deputy and who helps run our department, has been here for many years, and we were just talking about how vote by mail is becoming incredibly popular. It used to be called absentee voting many, many years ago. And both of us are taking certification classes from a school called Election Center. And as we are attending this, we are actually with all election officials from across the country. And so it's been very interesting to hear how other states and counties are dealing with the vote by mail. And some of them, this is really ground zero for some of them, where we feel in Lake County, we have a pretty good handle of how to do vote by mail. So basically, vote by mail is one of the options that you can do if you choose to vote. If you choose, you can go ahead and vote in person. And we are going to offer all three choices for the November 3rd election. So we will be offering pretty much most of the sites that our voters are accustomed to. We're not changing many. The only ones we change are senior centers or sites that they feel that they don't feel like it is the best thing for them to do at this election. But most of the sites are remaining the same. The second option is to early vote. And early voting this year, what we've done is, in the past, we would have different hours and different days for different sites. We're not doing that this year. This year, we're saying, hey, people are confused. So all of our early voting sites will have the same hours and the same days. So, which I think is a good thing, because our hours are extended. And so therefore, if you go to our website to look at our voting sites, early voting sites and hours, you'll be able to find them. All right. So that's very cool. But our early voting sites are also going to have internal drop-off boxes. So if you vote by mail and you choose to not send it in the mail, you can go to an early voting site and walk in, and you can go ahead and give them your ballot and drop it in an internal early voting ballot drop-off. So that's a good thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I've heard a lot of concerns from people in the community about they're a little bit nervous to mail in their ballot. So that's a nice option for people that are nervous.
We are adding one more early voting site. I can't actually disclose it now, but we found this one site. It's in the center of the county, and I feel like it's a gem, and it will be there. And so we're adding another early voting site for the convenience of all of you, and that will actually be in the middle of the county. So we feel like that is a good choice. So somebody else asked about, before I go in voting by mail, I'll explain one more area you can do your drop off. So we have several drop off internal boxes, and those will be collected every day by the judges, and they'll be watched by the judges who are running early voting. Then we are also going to have 4 external vote by mail ballot drop off box, a lot of words, and those were not easy to find. And the reason why is because we were given this directive to do this in quite a short time when you think about how we have to order them. find a spot. We're going to have to bolt them down. They have to be very secure. But they also have to be, we have to put them in a lit area, and we also have to have a camera watching them 24/7. So we cannot just put an external vote by mail ballot box anywhere. It has to be very safe for not only the ballots, but also for the voter. So we have chosen 4 spots that we know at this time will be safe and secure, lit, and cameras will be on. I like to think of this as a pilot, because if we are allowed to continue this, if this is something that later on this will be promoted for us to do in the future, we will figure out more spots, and we will install our own cameras, and we will make sure that they're lit places. So I like to think of this as a pilot program for these drop-off boxes, both internal and external.
Robin, that's really great. I'm sorry,
Okay,
I didn't mean to cut
I
you.
know,
You were saying one more thing. No, this is good. This is great information. There's so much to share. I just wanted to mention, for those of you that are Warren-Newport Public Library patrons, you come to the library, early voting at the Village of Gurnee. It's just right across the street. So if you come by the library and get your library materials, you can go right across the street and vote, or drop off your ballot at the Village. Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. Yeah, and the hours will be the same. You'll love the hours, because our hours on Sunday are going to be longer. All is good. Very
good. So any other things about those two, the more traditional methods we're accustomed to, or do you want to jump into discussing voting by mail?
No, I mean, it's just that that you have options. So go ahead, and also people will ask questions about, well, I have, if you want to call us or go to our website, because on our website we have everything categorized, and you can track your ballot. If you send a ballot and you say, oh, did it arrive yet? You can track it. We have all these modern capabilities to help you understand where your ballot is and to answer any of your questions. All questions are good.
Yeah, Robin, it's amazing. And the process has been very simple. I requested voting by mail. I went to the website. I attempted to, I just was curious what would happen if I tried to request a ballot again. The system said, whoa, no, you've already done it. You're all set. Yep. And so, I saw the option to track the ballot. I really think that's great. And I think it reassures a lot of voters in Lake County that this is going to be a smooth process.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have called. Remember when if you voted 18, 19, or 20, you automatically got an application for a ballot. And this is besides, just keep this in mind, this is besides people who sign up for permanent. We have a permanent list of people who want an application for ballot. We have a student group. If there's a student who's going away to college, they can be enrolled in a 2-year program and automatically get that reminder, do you want your application, or it's time. And we also have a snowbird program for a lot of our Lake County residents who tend to go south when it gets cold.
Right.
We have a program for them as well.
Fantastic.
So and then electronically this year, you're allowed to request a ballot electronically. That was something else that was allowed. We had a lot of electronics. So Ryan, approximately now, the other day, I felt like I asked how many applications for ballot do we have now? Now that was a couple days ago. So I would imagine right now we have easily 75,000 applications that have been turned in for ballots. That's a lot of envelopes.
Yeah. It is.
So just for fun, I'm not going to take a lot of time, but I just thought I'd give you a statistic. So in 2016, we had 430,000 registered voters and 307,000 cast a vote. And at that, in 2016, we probably had around 29,000 people that vote by mail. Then in 2018, we had about 448,000 people that were registered. And we had about 254,000 that was cast. And we had about 34,000 vote by mail ballots cast. Ryan, I predict easily 100,000 for this election. I believe we're going to triple it, if not more. So I believe vote by mail will be a very popular option, and I think we're definitely going to triple our last big election count. That's a lot of vote by mails, and I'm excited about it.
That is a lot.
One of the questions is about the mail. Should I talk about this?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so this is one of the hot topics that was going around email. Anytime you find a myth and you're like, oh, this is happening, call us, check our Facebook. We're on top of all the email myths that are out there. And I guess somebody was sending around envelopes from another state or whatever, and at the bottom there was a code. There was a code on it,
Yeah.
and they said, oh, you can read that code. Well, if you look at our envelopes, the only code that we have on our envelopes is the post office code. This just helps make sure that this envelope gets to where it belongs. So it's not only the address, but it's also the code that the post office scans and sends to our office. So no, we don't put any special codes on the envelopes. That would not be, we just don't do that.
So Robin, I think we could probably talk for hours about this, but I think that the real big takeaway is that you are there to answer questions that people have.
Yes.
And in the back, we can see the website, lakevoterpower.info, right?
Yes, yes. You
And
go to that, you can track, and I mean, there's so many things that you can find out about yourself. You can find out where you're going to vote. All of that information is on our site. So here, Ryan, you know what I tell people? Before you have a question, go to our site and navigate. Just experiment with it and just push buttons and find out where they lead you so that you become comfortable. So when your questions are there, you can go ahead and go to the site and find out your information.
Right. And if you happen to be watching this video somewhere and you're not computer savvy, you have the phone number there. People can call 847-377-VOTE. So Robin, I think this is great. I think we've covered everything we need to cover. Any final thoughts before we close today?
Yeah, just remember, it's your voice, your vote, your choice. And we are here to make sure that you are safe and that your vote is secure. Another whole conversation, Ryan, about cyber, about how we can talk about how your vote is protected in so many different ways. Just keep in mind that ask questions, call us. Oh, the polling sites, if you choose to go there, we're going to have all sorts of PPE for our judges, and we're going to try to make them as absolutely safe as we can.
Oh, so, I have one more question for you.
Yes.
Do you still need people to help with the elections? Are you still hiring people?
Yes, we need election judges. We always do. We have some individuals that feel like they're not ready to come back. This year, I'll tell you this in case anybody, this year the governor, we have a student judge program, which used to be just juniors and seniors in high school. And this year we can do 16, 17, and 18-year-olds. So if you know a 16-year-old, and there's no school that day. It's declared a state holiday. So students are off school. The only thing is they have to get here by 5 in the morning, which is hard, but they'll make some money and they will have a great experience. And it's something they can put on their, like something they put on their resume someday that they were an election judge. And I will tell you, all of our election judges, generally after they have one experience, most of them all return.
That's right. I've voted many times in Lake County since I've been here, and I see the same familiar, friendly faces. So that's great. That's great.
Definitely. So yeah, we're hoping that we're attracting a lot of the younger population, especially now if you're 16 years old, and we welcome that. We think that will be fun and exciting for them to be part of the process.
Great. Well, Robin, this has been amazing. Thank you for the time today. It's been super helpful. A lot of great information. And hopefully we'll talk to you again in the future about a different topic, perhaps.
Yeah, cybersecurity. Everyone wants to know about cybersecurity. Ryan, you're awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. And thanks everybody for watching this episode of Library Connections. Take care.
Liberty says goodbye. Bye, guys.